Hello everyone, welcome back to more of the Summit 7 Chinese qualifiers. We have here our final best of 3 today, LGD.Forever Young versus NewBee. My name is Hades and my co-caster PQMZ. Hello P, you there?
Hey dude.
Alright, so for those of you who don't know, LGD.F.Y, they just had a bit of a roster change. Afu left WG Unity from Malaysia to join LFY as their new 4. So okay, I know you don't really follow C Dota, and maybe not so much in Chinese Dota as well, but do you know the player Afu, P?
Yeah.
Alright, so, I mean, no one really knows where Ajit went to, but so far between these two teams, you gotta be rooting for NewBee for this one.
I haven't seen them with the new swap in, but I imagine the roster's only getting stronger.
They actually 2-0'd NewBee yesterday as well, so actually before we entered the game, basically once we entered the lobby, they were just like, alright, as he was saying, telling DDC, you guys beat us yesterday, can you just give us some chance? Hopefully we might even get all 3 games.
Did they actually say that, or are you just memeing?
No, I'm not memeing, man. They actually said that. I was like reading towards the very end before the game started. I was like, what are they saying? They actually just referred to SCC as the soldier. They actually call him that.
Any idea why?
Oh, that's because before he became a Dota player, he was in the army.
Oh yeah, okay.
Alright.
I thought it had something to do with his playstyle or something, but
I mean, a bit of both, right? I mean, he is incredibly aggressive, and he's also, while being that aggressive, he also maintains that level of discipline.
calculated.
All calculated, man. And alright, so we have ourselves a draft. What are your thoughts on the pick so far?
It's been a while since I've seen teams open with like Sand King. It's a really good hero. I think Chinese teams prioritize it a lot more than anyone in like the Western scene. So it should be interesting. And the Troll's kind of weird, but it's really, really strong hero in certain lineups, so they've obviously got some kind of idea where they want to go.
I've thought about this ultimate dream before, where you have like Troll, Warlord, and Meepo in the same lineup. Because you can imagine, you just turn on that ultimate and every Meepo is like bang, 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 bang. A tower's just gonna die. But I don't think Chinese teams have any really famous Meepo players. I know there was a period of time in Perfect World where they were trying to learn the hero, but I guess it was too hard for them. But still,
I just don't think it fits their playstyle. Like Chinese teams, they're very calculated in how they play for the most part, and Meepo is one of those heroes that for the most, you end the game at like 25, 30 minutes when you're just 2-3 items ahead of heroes, and if that goes wrong, Chinese teams then just like, they don't try again until they know they can do it, and at that point Meepo falls off. So I can see the reason they don't kind of play it. And I also don't think they have those as cheesy pocket strats. They might have like push strats, but I just don't see Chinese teams picking Meepo.
you never know. Maybe one day in the near future, before TI,
I'd love to see it.
Dude, you can imagine, man, if Ice Frog blesses Meepo with a buff before TI 7. Every team's gonna go like Troll Warlord Meepo. Bring back TI for the nightmare, the dark ages.
I'd like to see it. It's fun, but I highly doubt Meepo's getting buffed. The hero, I think, is in a pretty good spot. The meta just doesn't seem to favor it at all.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, I can think of one hero they need to nerf even more, and that's Arc
5
Warden.
seconds remaining.
So far in the pro scene, I think only OG has played Arc Warden. That was at the key.
They lost
major.
every game, right?
Yeah.
Except one.
But in
They
pubs,
pulled it
was a
out.
nightmare.
Was it when they were 1 game up against someone or something and they won for the first time?
But still, it's such a tough hero to play against. It's so annoying, especially if you're like a support. I think I played like a 170-minute game against Arc Warden yesterday. Feels bad, man. I mean, the opponent team really wanted the +7 MMR, so what can I say? But okay, we see the Ursa pick up, no surprise there. NewBee.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think this will be an Ursa mid. Wait, okay, who's
5
Mugi?
seconds
Wait, what?
remaining.
He's the carry player, I guess. Because it used to be U9, right?
Reserve
Yeah.
time.
And he's Gonzo.
All
So you
right.
haven't seen them play with the new roster?
Not yet.
Yeah, so it'll be a treat for
Oh
both
well.
of us.
I mean, strangely, I've like, despite the amount of games I've covered for the Chinese region, I rarely get newbie games. Like, really, really rarely. But all right, now we see the Visage come out.
Newbies turn to pick.
Drow strat, dude. Drow strat. Troll Wallet's gonna go mid, and you're gonna pick up a Drow. That's the ultimate push strat. How do you play against this?
You just kill them.
So like what, a PA Ursa, and we
10
just go like
seconds remaining.
actual 5 men into each 5 man, just keep fighting the whole time?
5
I don't think they're
seconds
picking
remaining.
Drow. The hero is pretty bad.
Dire team pick.
I mean, why pick Drow as sniper when you have heroes like Lina in the pool? Those talents are disgustingly crazy.
Yeah. I'm not so sure I like the Ursa here though. 'Cause, like, if you're an Ursa player and you're playing into Troll, like you don't always win the
10
man
seconds
fight,
remaining.
especially as the game goes on. And then you've got to deal with the mischance, which means you
5
itemize
seconds
differently.
remaining.
It just creates issues.
But,
It's not a feel-good hero to play against.
Newbies
but
turn to ban.
ooh, I like this clockwork coming up. So that's just one way of isolating the Ursa. But still, okay. But you were saying you didn't like the Ursa pick?
hmm
Yeah. So I can see why. Clockwork comes
10
out. Troll Wallet with the
seconds
whirling
remaining.
axis.
Sand King's really good at like initiating as
seconds
well. It's
remaining.
just I can see why newbie play it because they really like
Reserve
having
time.
this early momentum-driven safe laner that allows SCC to play more of the one position
Dire
that gets
team
more
back.
space on the map and is able to use it to scale into the game more. That's just how their team has played through the past few months. And Ursa fits that really well. I just don't think it lined up too well here. I think
10
LFY
seconds
counterpicked
remaining.
pretty nicely. And I really like seeing Clockworks against Lina.
5
Whether it's a
seconds
support or an
remaining.
off lane, it's still to be decided. But back in the day when Lina was
Reserve
the
time.
OP hero like she is now, Clockwork was one of the ways to counter her.
But is there any possibility that we could see a Visage mid? I think Gods and Godot, the Australian player, they talked about Visage mid actually being a really strong thing. I think for a while QO also played Visage mid.
Not with how the birds are now, I think. They just die to like 2 nukes. I think it's just not at a pro level yet, I think. You can make it work in pubs and stuff, but people there don't know how to deal with the hero as well, I suppose.
Dire team pick.
All right.
It's more like all in than like Meepo, for sure.
All right. So, meanwhile, Shadow Fiend gets banned out. They will go for that push kind of hero together. I can see this working out. You know, Troll Wallet and Dragon Knight. It's very simple to execute. But I'm worried for newbie. They don't have like an initiation hero. Oh wait, actually no. Sorry, what am I saying? They had Nyx Assassin, but
It's not good here though.
yeah,
like-
10
and
seconds
they
remaining.
don't have
LFY are
strong
gonna
newbie
5-man
push.
a lot.
Yeah, because once
you
he gets
don't
that
want
dragon
Nyx.
form, he's just gonna start
Remaining.
pushing straight up, right?
For sure. I really
Reserve
like
time.
LFY's draft. I haven't seen anything like it this patch. Alright, so that's a way of fighting them, but again, I just don't think it's strong enough. Like, LFY are pretty weak in the lanes. Lina's gonna have a really easy time against DK. The Enigma should be able to leech experience in the off lane, do his thing. Maybe even disrupt the Sand King farm if he wants to micro his Eidolons and block camps or whatever. And Ursa's going to have a free lane, but they have to snowball really, really hard.
Well,
Which
yeah,
I suppose is what newbie likes to do.
is this like a dual lane coming up between Nyx Assassin and Enigma? Because I know Enigma is like he's quite strong off laner, but you add a Nyx Assassin into that equation, that's actually really, really strong, and
10 seconds
the troll might be in
remaining.
some serious trouble, considering you have so many Eidolons just banging on you.
5 seconds remaining.
I think if they're going to put 2 heroes there, it's going to be more of like the Nyx soaking up the experience while the Enigma goes to the jungle if the lane's in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think dual laning for the Nyx is probably the worst way to go. I don't know, the Visix is really weak when he's getting hit though, so it could work.
It's quite a greedy hero.
I don't
too.
like splitting the experience. Enigma's extremely greedy, and the more levels you get, the more you can utilize the hero. Putting him in a dual lane kind of nerfs that pretty early. So if the Nyx wants to take experience while the Enigma moves between camps, that makes sense. Otherwise, I think it's better the Nyx just goes bottom, pulls, and gets his levels. Or just goes mid and continues to help the Lina. But again, I think you want more levels before you do that.
I mean, we've seen
For
that
some
thing
reason-
too, where KP can just actually just abandon the jungle, abandon the lane, go into the jungle, and then Nyx Assassin just takes the lane. So this way, I mean, experience distribution, not that big of a thing. But alright, we can see Mugi, he's already found the clockwork. Getting a few swipes in. Oh, farm the cogs. Oh no, he gets the deny. This is just basically the battle of the cogs right now, and alright, 3 denies. Not so bad. But okay, before we enter the game, any draft you favor in particular between the two teams, P?
I prefer LFY's draft. I think it's just a bit easier to run with once they get any momentum. That being said, I'd favor NewBee for execution, just because they're the better team.
30 seconds to
I mean, you
battle.
never know.
Or at least in history
Yeah.
of the past few months, they have been executing on a much higher level than the LFY players.
Well, who knows? Maybe with the addition of Afu, a bit of Southeast Asian LFY, they might replicate the same success they had yesterday with the 2-0 over NewBee. So, you never know, guys. You know, this is Dota. And, well, Sand King, I just realized that Afu actually starting out with the Iron Talon. He's just going straight to the jungle. Is this a good idea?
The battle
Wouldn't you want to see
begins.
like your Sand King rotate or share the lane a bit?
I don't really see any reason to rotate though. Like, if you go mid, what are you going to do? The Lina's not going to really mind either way. If you want to go top, the Enigma's probably going to have the lane in a position where it's too close to the tower to be able to dive him. You might be able to get him down pretty low, but then he just shrines. It's way more efficient to go jungle. Sun King's really greedy support, unless you have like really high damage laners, which they don't until they get levels.
Alright, so middle. DK versus Lina. I mean, DK shouldn't be dying this lane, right? Because once you have Dragon's Blood up, especially once you get level 2, and that you don't really need to worry about CS as well. You just get your bottle, start spamming.
Yeah,
Or-
it's not a bad lane for DK. I'd expect it's like 60-40 Lina favored. She should get a bit more of the CS, just as her pull's a bit more sustainable, and it's an easier start. But as you said, DK can survive in this lane.
So
And then
we-
it's all about the rotations off the lane and who gets pressure on whose tower first, and maybe whose supports come in first.
Radiant's top tower
So
is
we would
under
anticipate
attack.
this to be a static lane. But what about the side lanes? Any lane we should be looking at in particular? Oh,
I think
hold
it's
on.
pretty much the
Bottom
same
lane,
for both
lifting
sides.
him out of the cogs. That'll be that. They were trying to farm the cogs up as well. But so you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's like the same for both sides. NewBee are going to try and manipulate the wave back so that the wave pushes into the tower. The Enigma will then farm the waves. He has the luxury of taking the jungle camps at the same time though, so he'll naturally
Radiant's
just
top tower is under attack.
get more out of the lane than a clock will.
Radiant structures are
But the clock
fortified.
still wants to do the same thing, just manipulate the wave, leech experience. If he can keep the supports down here and interrupt the pulls, which he's trying to do at the moment, just be as annoying as possible. And if he can do that, where he keeps both supports there, the Sand King's free to jungle, and they're not going to necessarily win out on the economy because of the Enigma thing, but I think it favors them if the lanes don't have anything happen. Because they're going to come out with DK who can push towers, a Sand King who's going to ideally have a fairly quick blink.
Well, like you said during the draft, Chinese teams, they're more disciplined. It's all about calculated decisions. And this way, we might not even see any action, at least until some players are more comfortable with getting some extra levels, especially the Sand King. And he's only just able to afford his boots. But he looks like he's actually edging towards the mid. Does he have like a smoke on the courier? Oh no,
And he just wants to go to different camps.
he can't get the gank off anyways, right? Like there's a ward over there in the middle lane, so I don't think that would have worked out. But bottom
you
lane,
wanna wait till the
hold
DK
on,
gets
lifted up
6.
into the air, he puts the battery assault with the cogs pushing them back. But this very angry bear chasing him down. They still have a stun into Kaka. No way to run. They've boxed him into the trees. Actually, hold on. He's juking out. He misses the stun. Ooh, this is not good.
What a player. That's some sick ukes right there.
Oh no. So
And the
he-
shrine efficiency with the Sand King, ah, feels good, man.
Shrine up, shrine up. Alright,
It's
so
going really, really well for them so far. Like, the DK's getting a bit more CS than I'd imagine. I always underrate this hero in the lane, though. Like, ever since Dragon's Blood got changed, he's just so tanky, you can't really box him at all. Doesn't even need PMS. And the Ursa's actually having a much harder time bottom than I thought he would. He's missing, like, more CS, and the clock's contesting the lane more than I presumed he would. And meanwhile, Sand King's just free farming. Like, he's level 4, 4 minutes in. Probably gonna hit 5 after this camp and a bounty rune.
So is this the kind of game where you need to rush a Blink Dagger, or do you think you still go for the greedier option? You take the Arcane Boots first, then you know, maybe try for Smoke Play.
Personally, I really like Tranquils, and
Soaring?
it depends. You can normally get away with like Shrines and Clarities, and then just get your Blink, I think.
Middle
Okay,
lane.
Selena dead?
Let's see, might be dying here, but no, really, really close. And I think it was not only the Dragon's Blood to DK which made him so much stronger, but also like they increased the damage reduction on Breathe Fire to 35%. So you take all these tiny
What was it
factors in.
before?
I think it was like 25, but yeah, I think it was just increased by 10 to 5% more. And that's still very significant against Lina. So yeah, that's why he doesn't need a PMS.
Every little helps.
So middle lane Kaka, he is coming around. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. I think they might be thinking about going for it right now. Oh, they know he's there. Looking for the stun. Oh, juke around the Roonies. Walking around in circles. They will get the first stun. Now they get the second. They have a Dragon's Slave on 3 seconds, but now here comes the slow from DDC. Dragon's Tail into the Lina, but here comes the Clockwork as well. Nice Carapace, but double burst strike coming in from Afu.
No mana to
Triple
cock.
C going to die. Who gets the first kill here? SC, one more click. Will die to DDC, and second will get going down to Fave, looking for the second. DDC finding the double kill. Wow, so that's all your ward money, your flying courier, everything right there. And meanwhile, Mugi picks up his face boots.
That was some quick responses from them. Like, you don't normally expect your Clockworks to be TPing in this early. And now he's got his phase boots, they're getting their levels from that as well. Pretty good trade.
I don't think they were expecting Afu to have that level 5, which kind of explains why he managed to hit the double power strike. I mean, if he was just level 4, that would have made the biggest difference in the world, just the level 2 power strike. But now, Afu and DDC, both going around to the middle lane again. They smoke up behind the tier 1. We'll see whether they might even consider going up behind the tower for the Enigma. They put the ward down. They don't see anybody. And this should be the wraparound past the tier 1.
Can't outrun a wildfire.
Might
Yeah,
not be
now
a good
it's
idea, though.
all who they find.
Put a ward down, don't see anybody. Might not be the best idea, seeing as Rubik happens to be there. But hold on, top lane. Monette might be going down here. But this troll really tanky, still has the salve. He's salving up. And actually, he's just going to cancel it, but he will be forced back. And SC meanwhile, rotation to the bottom, finding the Clockwork. So it looks like they finally do find their first successful kill on the bottom lane.
That's really sick by NewBee as well, because their movement completely negates what LFY wanted to do. Whether that's a bit of good fortune on their part or previous planning, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, hold on, middle
normally-
lane. They see SCCC. No, hold on. They go around for the easier target, which will be the Nyx Assassin. Looking for the life strike. Red's going to connect it to 2 heroes. Kaka's still alive. Now the double burst strike. But no, the nuke from DDC will secure them the kill. And this is where they back off, looking for the lift. But Faith does not have the range. Okay, so I don't know, that was kind of risky. Wouldn't you have tried for the Lina instead? She seems a bit squishier or easier to kill compared to your Nyx Assassin.
I mean, the Nyx just ran in. You take what comes to you, I think. It's also like a split-second decision. Better safe than sorry, right? I want to just go back to the point I tried to make before, where they moved the Lina bottom, they net the kill, their support smoked top, tried to get the kill on Troll, which are like 25, 30 damage off.
Top
And-
lane, however, I think they might be thinking of going for the black hole here. He doesn't have the mana for it though. Tower is ready within deny range, and of course with the Laguna Blade and the Dragon Slave damage, that'll be more than enough. Over the backline, Afu getting the tower. He went for the burst strike. This might not be worth his death, and he's going to go down anyways. So, you know, on the bright side, at least to get the tower kill. Not the biggest thing, but that's going to delay his Blink Dagger timing.
I think it's definitely worth him getting the tower, but the Troll dying as well is just like NewBee getting what they can out of the situation. And so far, every time the Lena's moved away from the lane, she's getting kills, which is really important. Because if you notice, she's going 4-step first, and this is something a lot of people didn't do back in the day when you played against Clockwork, because they were just greedier. They were like focused on getting their Yule Scepters and Bloodstones, etc. But the faster you get this item, the more relevant you make one of their core heroes. And yes, Sand King's probably going to have more farm as the game goes on, but this is still like kind of nullifying one of their heroes, which is really important because they kind of picked it to deal with the Lina. The Ursa's like a bonus.
Okay, and also meanwhile, they actually used the scan on the bottom lane, so they know that all these heroes are there. They are thinking about diving to tier 1, but Mugi played it very, very safe. He actually hid all the way behind the trees, and Super just gonna get whatever damage he can into that tier 1, and it's almost down to 50% HP. Notice that the Troll is actually taken to the jungle, trying to complete those Vladimir's offering, but bottom lane, do they actually try for a dive here? I mean, Clockwork is not yet level 6, he really wants that level first.
I think they're better just doing the poke damage at the moment. It's like, there's no way NewBee aren't ready to defend this tower when they've already got 3 heroes down here. If you go for that dive, you don't have any way of your other 2 heroes assisting you. You just want to like zone them a bit to allow the DK to hit the tower, but
oh, not the way to miss on his first hook shot. The Cog's gonna try and push them back, but now he's gonna get lifted out of his own Cogs. With all these stick charges to buff the enrage as well. Mugi, one more right click, swipes him down. And okay, also, yeah guys, just a quick update. I know the score says 1-1, but that's just a mistake. It's not really 1-1, this is only game 1. So don't worry guys, we still have more Dota for you after this game. And, alright P, what about KP going for the Midas? Can you afford to be so greedy? Just picked it up. Oh, middle lane.
I think it's standard.
The epicenter as well for SC. They really want this kill with the Dragon's Tail as well, still alive, and actually Rogue gets poked down by Alpha, but the black hole on 2, connecting on, and Super will also go to the grave. Big stuff for KP's first big black hole, well worth it.
yeah, and that's after his Midas pickup as well, so immediate impact. Getting massive gold. I don't know, it just feels like every time LFY make a play, NewBee reads it and does something better.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, and also the clock dying bottom was just like a bit of a misplay on his
But
part.
he's tried for another hook shot. He wants to solo kill onto Faith. He has the face boot, so this should be an easy kill for him.
Radiant's
Wants to
courier
kill
has
Faith.
been
Courier
defeated.
meanwhile dies. How did the Courier die? Oh, I think the Familiars actually snapped the Courier. Wow.
Yeah, they're annoying.
The Familiars actually killed the Courier. So with the medallion up onto the Visage. Ooh, this is a really fat Visage considering. And net worth
Yeah,
doesn't
the
seem
double
to
kill
be
helped a lot.
It did. Or it was a killing spree as well, right? I remember he had a killing spree.
That he does, he's 3-0.
Oh, damn. Alright, so 12 minutes in. I guess this is as active as we can get or ask for when it comes to Chinese Dota. So Afu and DDC going for one more smoke. They see the double damage, might be baiting it out. They know that someone might be going that direction, and actually it looks like it will be the next assassin. There we go, but he goes straight into Vendetta. Do they have protection? You know they do. Oh yes they do. Sentries and Dust. Nice Carapace. But it's not going to save him from all these stuns. So of course one more kill. Not the target they wanted, right PQ?
No, but it's more about trying to pressure this bottom lane than it was about getting a kill, or like an important kill. Unfortunately, they're more worried about their mid tower falling, so the DK goes back there. But between these 3 heroes, they can pressure the tower, and they can see how NewBee reacts. And their choice is just going to be smoke towards the Roche and have the Enigma push
Yep,
top
they
lane.
see the DK, not the best of targets, so tanky. The game rage, he's actually going to tear apart this Clockwork, maybe both very, very low. But no, Clockwork's actually going to get out, and so will Super. And now, of course, he builds up the Midnight Pulse, trying to get the stun, to find the Troll Waller, but nice burst strike, catching Kaka. Mugi will finally find his first kill on Monette. Looking out for Kaka, but no, he still won't die, that familiar. He just want to farm it up, even going to the high ground. We have all these heroes here, should be easy 100 gold. Maybe? Yes, right, easy. Now they will go back
No,
into
he
the
resummoned.
Afu still has an epicenter. He's thinking about it. All going for the burst strike. Easy quick sniper to Kaka, and he backs out immediately. This Roshan may not go the way of NewBee.
That's a missed micro.
Up. Oh, DDC, what are you doing? Super. They just want to farm these Eidolons. And yeah, it looks like NewBee will be forced away from the Roshan pit. LFY just showing superior dominance right now around that pit.
And this is the joy of the Visage. Is really, really strong hero at denying the early Roshans.
And because of that kill, Afu now is 200 gold away from the Blink Dagger. And like you said, you know the Tranquils? Looks like he likes that item too.
It's actually a huge buff since the move speed to a lot of these roaming heroes.
Alright, so KP is also going for the Blink. He's actually not going for the mech this game. Wait, why is that so? Why would you not go for the mech? Considering that LFY look to be running to your face.
The mech just doesn't really scale that well. And the Blink also gives some ways to add to their catch, which is really important. Like, their ideal scenario at the moment is the Ursa gets a Roshan and creates a lot of space in the front lines, which then is either going to put them in choke points or it gives you a chance to get a decent black hole.
Oh, LFY is going in straight for it. And actually, no, Mugi still gets the Aegis and the Roshan kill. SC will wipe out Monette immediately. Afu's still there. They put down the sentry. They will find Afu, and he was so close. He really wanted the Blink initiation with just big spells to land, but unfortunately no. So the Roshan will finally go the way of NewBee.
And now the chance for them to snowball is becoming very, very real. They're just about to pick up 2 Blink Daggers, Ursa with the Enigma. And now their timings get really scary actually. This is when I'd have kind of favoured LFY, but their Sand King went for a lot of early rotations, didn't really get a lot of gold or important kills out of them, and his Blink was a lot later than I would have assumed. Because on top of that, they've only taken 1 tier 1 with a DK, and that's all to NewBee's credit. Like, their rotations and their counterplay has been really good at defending these towers and stopping what LFY wanted to do with their game. And the Trolls had like 0 impact as well.
It's extremely hard, like, wouldn't you consider BKB, but I guess, you know, you don't really want a BKB. Like, considering
Troll?
how it scales. Yeah. Like, yet.
Way too early.
Way too early, exactly. So, the Sanjin Yasha still being built on the way. Meanwhile, middle lane, they do want to get this tier 1 nice and tasty. Of course, they may be considering for the deny, actually blinking forward. There'll be KP getting the stun up onto DDC. And that'll be it. But meanwhile, bottom lane, Super just getting some chip damage onto a tier 2. He already took himself to tier 1. It looks like they may find themselves an even bigger target into Afu. Vendetta, no, they go straight for the stun. Looking for the lift. There we go. Carapace not really going to matter, and that'll be a quick and easy kill for Faith.
That was a nice force from the Lina, getting the Rubik in range. Teamwork, boys.
Teamwork.
And now it's just up to NewBee to dictate the pace of the game. Immediately smoking after that kill is something LFY might not have the time to react to. It's not like NewBee are smoking into any vision though, so... Oh wait, never mind, they are. The hero was just over their ward, so I didn't see it on the minimap.
Okay.
But this is a perfect scenario
right now,
for
but
them.
they're gonna find themselves a very big, tasty target. The lift into the stun with the Laguna Blade, Avada Kedavra, down goes Monette. And alright, so
That's a Battle Trance steal as well. Easy tower push.
we talked about the snowballs of Fiery Souls plus Battle Trance. Holy shit. Alright, so they're actually going straight to the bottom lane. They're not done yet. They want the last tier 1 tower. They might just go for Super or Nafu, checking up the ward, but still, they can do whatever they want. Kaka should anticipate that there's a sentry there. They know. Immediately stunned up. Carapace maybe. It's gonna stop a few heroes, but now actually the Force Staff down, and Kaka's gonna get out. But of course, they set up the hookshot, however, will connect onto SCCC. The lift, saving him with the Dragon's Tail, even better. So Super just there in the nick of time. But Moogie going straight to the backline, trying to finish off DDC. He's gonna try and turn around and stand up to someone big and tasty. Over the Dragon, allow for the black hole, onto 2, finds Super. Clockwork's still stuck inside, of course. Troll's going to do whatever he can, but the Carapace. Okay, bar strike. Wow, down goes the Sand King as well. And Moogie's gonna finish up DDC. That'll be 4 heroes down. Don't think we're popping the shrine is not worth it. And this way, that black hole with KP really showing why you went for the dagger instead of the mech. And this will be a tier 1 going the way of NewBee.
That is the problem with their lineup, I suppose. Ursa getting the Roche, and then they all kind of have to commit fairly close on targets as well. Like, even the birds getting hold is a big deal. There are a lot of LFY's control at the moment, and like Troll's always going to be fairly close. If DK's not in his ult, or if they're both in ranged form, they're going to be fairly close.
This is very, very scary for NewBee right now, because KP is very close to a DKB. He's just 1100 gold away.
You mean it's scary for LFY, right?
Yeah, like...
It's good for NewBee.
It's definitely good for NewBee. Holy shit, but now they will try for a smoke. Shadowblade up into Super. We'll see whether he can do something if this. He did opt for the Dragon, maybe for the jumps first. Not so much the armlet like we usually see.
Still has Aegis up.
Oh no, immediate blink up for Moogie. They did spot the LFY smoke. Very quick blink. Good map awareness coming out from the Ursa. He saw that, immediately got out. But Kaka, he's going to lay out the Capus just in case that someone was in the air. It looks like he map on themselves. A Clockwork Tasty, not really missing the stun. And he still has cogs. Alright, so...
And it's off.
Afu was waiting on the high ground just in case he needed to go for a multiple bar strike target. But 17 to 8, NewBee, are they snowballing hard enough like you imagined them to, or do you think LFY still have a foothold back into this game?
NewBee are definitely snowballing a lot more than I thought they would, but it's not over by any means. It's just going to be really hard for LFY. They have to wait out this Aegis, which, as I can't see the Roche timer since I reconnected, they've done. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take to spawn, but that's going to be like the next big objective this game. Any towers and skirmishes before that are all like icing on the cake for whichever team that wins them. The Roche is going to be game defining. And I think the team with more BKBs at that point is just going to win it.
So, would you consider a next item BKB and the Dragon Knight? Or do you think you still need initiation, like a Blink Dagger? Because you want to be able to catch
That's what the Shadowblade's for.
That's what the Shadowblade's for. So that's enough?
Yeah. In his mind,
hold on, they know
yes.
that Kaka was there. The Carapace is going to be stunning the DK up for a tiny bit, but it's not going to get him out of this. Going for the Bird Strike. The Impale. And Kaka should be dead. Just needs the stick charges. The nuke will be more than enough, but Super says, hey, why kill? Afu and the Clockwork, they were thinking about a pick off into the bottom lane. But with everyone else off the map, they didn't want to take that risk.
No, it's for 2 cores there, and they're effectively 2 supports. And until Sand King gets level 2 Epi and maybe even level 2 hook on the clock, they don't really have the most damage into like an Ursa. And Lina can probably force away. And then TPs come in and you're just in a bad spot. Speaking of Lina, just finishing a Bloodstone.
So
pretty happy.
I just realized Enigma is going for an Axe. He already has the BKB completed. He's top of the net worth for his team. Carry Enigma.
It's kind of how the hero works. This is like what you saw S4 do a lot at the major. I haven't seen Axe on the hero in a long time. You normally just see Octarine instead.
But you have like a Midnight Pulse, right? I believe the Axe for Black Hole gives you the Midnight Pulse damage, so you apply a Midnight Pulse with the Black Hole and the secondary Midnight Pulse damage coming out from that Axe. Oh gosh.
They don't really need it. I think he'd be way better just building...
Octarine?
Yeah, Octarine, 4 staffs, a Shiva, Atos, like... I really don't think he needs Axe, it's just overkill. His team has more than enough damage. Maybe he's worried as the game goes on, like the Ursa's not going to be able to connect as easily and they're going to want like a secondary form of damage. In that case, just buy a Bloody Radiance. Like it...
Be the Purge.
I don't know.
Be like Purge.
That or Refresher, you know.
is under attack.
The only way to cancel your hook, your BKB black hole is a hook, which, if you know which angle the clock's from, your team can block it. That's easier said than done, obviously. But if you get a refresher, you don't care about the first hook. You just pop your refresher, BKB again, and get an extra hero in your hole. It's great.
Man, just look at how passive and how scared LFY are playing. It's like Shadowbait TP out. Clockwork's like, okay, I'm gonna put cogs down before I go somewhere else to hide. I mean,
It's
Kaka
really good what they're doing, though.
It is. Like, I think most players usually wouldn't, but in this case, because they know that the game isn't over yet, they just have to play it safe for a while more until NewBee kind of slips up a bit. So yeah.
More importantly, the more open the map is, the better it is for LFY. Their heroes, they're a bit better in like these small skirmishes.
Boom! There it goes.
As opposed to like the 5-man engagements where NewBee have been blatantly destroying them. Mostly down to like how farmed the 3 cores are. The Enigma has such an easy time going in because his other 2 cores aren't scared of what's happening and they can draw out the fight long enough for him to either like stop them committing because they know he's there and it's like the whole threat of the black hole thing, or he just lands 2 free heroes and then the fight's over.
Alright, so 17-9 with 24 minutes in. Oh, Kaka just saw Monet who just steals the haste wind under his nose. But still. Okay, I know you told me before about like the Deso Vlads onto an Ursa. Next item, obviously, it's going to be a BKB. But is Smoogie performing so far up to standards like you would expect?
He's played really well, I think.
Oh, hold on, hook shot. They find themselves a nice, tasty target. That's going to be Alina. If she can, she's going to trap the suicide out. Can she get it off? No, she will not. Super cleaning him off. But hold on, I think they want to fight. Going for an epicenter. Going only into one target. It will be Kaka. The Carib is stunning multiple targets. Will they think about going back in for the black hole? I don't think so. But Super and friends, they're going to look for one more kill. Afu still has a blink initiation.
No, they can turn maybe.
They can fight it, can they? No, they won't.
That's good from LFY.
No, they won't go for Roshan. Lina's ready back up. Did she go? Okay, let's look at her talents. Did she go for the minus 30 seconds? No, she went for the damage and the cast range. So
this is what he's done every time I've seen him play Lina. Which admittedly is only a handful of times, but players have their preferences and they normally stick to them.
But also,
I know,
like,
this
right
is just...
now, both teams are actually just kind of revolving around this Roche pit. They know that Roche is the next big objective, so I don't want to find into that pit if I was LFY, especially with the Black Hole Enigma.
Yeah, they're at a point where the Trolls just the recipe away from the BKB, and as I said before, the teams kind of need BKB on their heroes, and whichever team has more is probably going to win. And so far, it's like 1-to-1, but the 2 cores on LFY, they need BKB to be able to go in.
The block from Kaka, he's going to find the burst strike, and Clockwork's just going to pay for it with his life. That kind of mischief won't work, and they find another hook, the stolen hook from Faith. They find Super, the lift back, but where's everyone else? The Dragon Tail, now here comes KB, solo black hole to Dragon. I talk about overkill, and that's going
so
to be
worth
2 kills going the way of NewBee with the Roshan Aegis. So, okay, I just have to ask, I know it was a bit overkill, but was it worth it using your long cooldown black hole just for a Dragon Knight?
You got the birds as well, and those are the semi-fresh birds, so yeah, definitely worth. In that situation, your Rubik's dead if you don't hole. And the DK had a BKB, so your only way of controlling was black hole. And you net a tier 2 off this. You're not at a point where you have to go high ground by any means, so it's not like you are looking to take the fight with a black hole. I could see a lot of people saving it in that spot.
Jungle, down goes Afu, getting picked off like that. It's almost as if they just forgot that Kaka is in this game as a Nyx assassin. They have been disrespecting this pick several times.
They kind of have to though. They're at a point in the game where giving up a Sand King pick off here or there is not going to lose them the game. But if they don't do that, they just kind of sit on their side of the map and they lose the economy game. Which, if NewBee have a huge lead, it doesn't matter how late the game goes if your cores technically scale better. Because if Ursa's an item up, he's going to win the man fight against either of the cores. Lina, maybe not a man fight, but if you can play around the fight or you get the initiation first, she's going to do more than either of LFY's cores, and then obviously Enigma is the game changer here. He could not finish an item for the rest of the game and his impact will still be ginormous. But the more farm you give him, the easier it is for him to play. And if he does finish the Sags, then he can kill any hero with his Midnight Pulse BKB and another Black Hole.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they do a bit of change to Midnight Pulse? It was magical damage previously, right? But now they made it pure, so...
It was always pure, wasn't it? Or am I...
No, I remember that they did
Oh no,
change.
yeah, it used
was
to be.
magic. Yeah, so when you made it pure, all these tank
I don't know
heroes
how
like
long
DK,
ago that was.
It was only like 2 patches back. But okay.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, they changed it only in 7.0, 7.01 I think. But NewBee, they're gonna smoke. But so did LFY, so both teams kind of revolving around each other. They're gonna find the Dragon Knight, and this is where immediately LFY have to come back by the Laguna Blade. They immediately take care of Super, and now hold on, they might have spotted Monet, but Night Vision. So Mugi, the BKB gonna expire still as the Aegis. We'll see if, you know, LFY, they can find themselves a favorable fight. DK, or they might find themselves S-Triple-C. They need a hook shot, they need a hook shot. Where's the hook shot? Mugi going in, but not the hook shot and the burst strike. Bit of them could catch 2 heroes, but KP with the black hole. Once again, it's going to be on just the Troll Wallet and the birds. Down goes Mugi, but WDA just popped, and that's not going to be that good of a black hole this time. KP, Monet with the bashes, finding KP getting dominating streak. Mugi getting kited for an eternity, and you will die, but Faye meanwhile taking care of Monet. Okay, so down goes Mugi. Are we looking for more kills? Afu getting stunned up. Kaka, he needs to run right now. Do we have a hook? No, we do not, but they're going to try to look for Kaka. Maybe look for the Lina. The blink forward from Afu. He's going to find a bit more. Will he find the Lina? I don't think so. But they may be able to find someone else if they have the detection.
Radiant's
No, they
middle
don't. So they're just going to secure at least the tier 1 tower.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, their only
tower
detection
under
is on
attack.
Visage, who is a pretty slow hero.
Radiant's middle tower
Oh, they
has
found
fallen.
2. The burst strike. Afu wants the Rubik. Gonna be chasing that Rubik. Find the Grain Magus. Can you get the kill? Nah. Super says, I want to farm. Let's take the tier 2 instead. But hanging around like that Faith, that's not a smart idea. Oh, we saw them both. We're good for the hook shot coming in right now. The force step forward from Faith. But catching him to the car is gonna lift him out, toss him outside. Goodbye. But Laguna Blade, they need to kill this Clockwork. Keeping the burst strike on the sidelines, finding Kaka. And now the cap is triggered by the battery assault, and that should be a quick and easy kill here for SC. 4-star forward, Kaka looking for Super. Can he find Super? I don't think so. KP's here. He's found the Visage. This is a big kill. This is where the gem carrier is. Of course, the Light Striker raid is going to connect. Of course, it will connect. And DDC should be dying here. Afu trying to take the gem. The burst strike away. He actually got it. But no, it looks like he was going to get caught. Anyways, the Sandstorm's going to try to juke him. He's with the haste.
He has a haste.
Afu on the run, and it doesn't seem like NewBee will be able to find him. Afu saving the gem.
What a fucking player.
Holy cow. He was just waiting right there. He knew he died immediately, blinked in, no hesitation.
That takes balls to do that. Admittedly, they're in a really bad position, so people are going to be more likely to make the YOLO plays, but that pays a huge amount. The gem's so important this game. If they'd have just given that away, they'd have lost even more control of how they can split push. And that's kind of their only way to stay in the game at the moment.
So 24 to 13, and of course, yeah, I agree with you, especially when you need the gem to make sure that the next assassin stops, you know, just roaming around, getting that much intel. At least you can punish him for doing that every single time, or most of the times. And I like how LFY, they have somewhat secured themselves at least a bit more into a more even game. This game is definitely not won yet by NewBee. And KP's black hole just now is very, very lackluster. I mean, he probably expected more targets, but
He
unfortunately,
nearly flipped the Sand King. It was really, really close.
it was. Like, I think it was
But
just
the problem
barely
was,
outside.
like,
Oh,
the
hold
Lina
on.
wasn't
They
hitting.
found Kaka. No? Visage. No, out of range. Oh no, DDC was not near enough. But I think they're just waiting.
I really don't know why they're not giving Sand King the gem. I understand for like de-warding purposes it's better on Visage, but he's not the hero that's like in the front or offering them the catch. And if not, Sand King should at least have Dust, right? And it's really weird to me. And it's cost them 1 or 2 kills as well.
I think more than that by this point. I remember like several times already in the jungle they could have gotten him. But every single time they relied so much on Dust and Sentries. I think they just weren't expecting DDC to be that near, at least for the future times they bump into the next assassin. But still, I mean, we have ourselves here one heck of a game won already, P. And I just feel like Mugi's running out of time as an Ursa in general, like compared to the cause of True Warlord.
It's kind of supplemented by the Enigma though. This is the hero that enables them to drag the game on a lot, and to some extent Rubik as well.
Oh, they know where LFY are, the smoke, and of course with the Rocket Flare not scouting them out, looking to Kaka to start a fight. I'm pretty sure they see them there. They put the ward down. They're gonna find the first, which will be DDC. But the Burst Strike trying to save his teammate. The Light Strike will take care of the familiars first. Gem is on the floor. They found the Sand King. Monet going in ham. He wants to do KP, but the solo black hole onto him. Super, nothing he can do. The hook shot's gonna come from Clockwork and right into Faye, but that's all. And that's clean going down. But the other epicenter not gonna be that big. The character stunning him up. Alright, so at least they get Kaka, but KP just acknowledging Afu's still gonna get the Burst Strike connected to him. Monet needs a couple more bashes. KP will be dying here. One more bash. Monet finds the double. And looking for the Lina. Afu blinks forward, looking for Oro, gets stunned up. But here comes Monet, getting the slow as well. Monet. Now he's gonna run in. He needs a lucky bash. He's gonna go into his melee form. But of course, Afu and the rest of the friends, they have caught up looking for the Lina. Whoa, where did the Lina go? Hold on, sorry, denies himself. Alright, and the gem's still on the floor. They're pinging it out. And what a team fight from LFY.
That was really, really smart on their part. Whether it was a snap decision or they preemptively went into that fight knowing the troll had buyback and he's probably going to get black holed, so he's just going to buy back afterwards and the team's going to hold off and like reinitiate. That call could have just salvaged them the entire game.
Middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, Roche isn't spawning quickly for them, but they can slowly work their way back in. They've got a window where Enigma has no hole for 60. They can make use of that while their BKBs just come back up. It's their best time to fight.
Hold on. The BKB, they're gonna go nice double Burst Strike coming up from Afu, but he doesn't know that Kaka's there. They're gonna try and get Faith, who was 4-staff down. And SC trying to keep his teammate alive.
Oh, he has a DD room.
Actually, hold on. Backdoor protection is still there.
You push away, boys.
Is this a comeback?
Oh yeah,
For sure.
it could be.
It has to be, right? I mean, LFY playing great Dota right here. NewBee, they had a huge lead, but it looks like most of that's pretty much out the window right now. 27-17 does not illustrate the true story of what's going on here. And okay, Afu gonna be camping the Roche pit. KP has a black hole in 15 seconds. He's actually going for the refresher now.
I bet he wish he had that instead of the Axe.
Probably. But also worth noting that Monet did buy back early on in that fight, which they won. It was very close, but still, you know, he breaks the bank doing that. And if he dies one more time, that might be extremely costly for him, seeing as he won't have buyback for at least 4 more minutes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you can't play every fight around. Okay, one of our cores is going to get black holed and then buy back, and then we're somehow still going to be able to win the fight afterwards.
Ooh.
Especially as a lot of the fights are going to be around Roche. If the shrine somehow goes down, if they manage to get a push or something, you've got nothing to TP to, and then the buyback's worse, etc. There's a lot of reasons this Enigma is going to have bigger impact in the next fight, providing it's not the DK that gets hold and then buys back and does the same thing.
I'm not sure if you're seeing this, but Kaka basically keeps going into the pit of the Carapace on. He gets the Lina to 4-staff him in, and then he 4-staffs himself back out. Bit of mischief going on, but this is just a lot of emphasis coming up onto this Roche, because both teams know, once again, this Roshan leads to another objective, and they're putting all these wards down. We're going to see that battle of wards coming out one more time. Afu is going to see the sentry. Hold on, they even see the observer ward. They should know it's there.
And they can use birds, right?
So this is like a standoff, Mexican standoff between both teams right now.
It's a shame DDC doesn't have his birds off cooldown, otherwise he could like split push the waves and maybe force NewBee to go back. And then LFY can either pick off the stranded heroes or just go into Roche. But you don't want to play a fight without your birds, it's way too risky. But so far the other two lanes are going to push, at least in LFY's favour for the bottom lane. The top one's a bit more neutral. And that's going to favour them.
Wow, they actually smoke up. So, oh, they know that the Invictus Assassin was there. The smoke is broken already. But Afu and friends, they do not know about the rest of the smoke. But yes, Kaka will now break it. They find Kaka immediately. Black hole. Where's the black hole, KP? He's not gonna fight. He's looking for multiple targets. Now he's gonna use it only into Monet. And okay, the birds will be caught. But super if they're big.
good enough.
He's still gonna keep on going. Oh, it looks like they will find KP, get 4 staff out. But not the counter 4 staff coming up the clockwork. And looks like he will find a nuke to KP. You know, Moogie going straight for Afu. And down goes Afu. He will buy back for this. Moogie getting the life. He will not get the last swipe onto the clockwork. And that's going to be 3 heroes down. Right, Super getting lifted up. But the multiple stuns, the consecutive stuns from the Visage, really well played. Faith going to 4-staff SC forward. He has 5 more seconds for his own 4-staff. He needs to run Super, looking for the Dragon Tail. Down he goes. And okay, SC will be dying here. So 4 heroes down. This should open up the Roshan kind of for LFY. But Black Hole also down, so I think this most probably should be the Roshan going to LFY.
Yeah, there's no Ursa for 50, and unless Nina wants to buy back, they're going to be 3v4. They don't take it that quickly without the troll, but with a Solar Crest and a Visage, it's going to go down quick enough. This is just like the fault of Enigma, I suppose. He's killing one of the cores every fight, but LFY are doing a really, really good job of kiting, and they just have so many stuns. It's incredibly hard to play the Ursa this game. He has a BKB, but they still have ways to deal with that, and then once he's gone, it's just stun, Visage drop, stun, Visage drop. It's incredibly annoying to play against. And it's the same thing for Lina. This hero doesn't necessarily want to buy BKB, but he's going to be forced to. And if they somehow don't connect with those BKBs,
Gold and sweet.
LFY is going to have a field day.
I think as well, like regarding this issue, you also have to worry about buyback to a certain extent. So this BKB is going to be much longer. You know, it's going to take definitely way longer than you would expect to come online, because otherwise that's way too all in. So
I don't know actually. I think he has to have it.
So you think he needs to all in no matter what?
It depends what they want to do. Because right now, Roche is out the picture, LFY have the Aegis and Cheese for the next 5 minutes. If NewBee can keep the lanes pushed out to a point where the Lina has like 20-30 seconds on her respawn timer, she's not going to worry too much about buyback. Because if you fight in the river, chances are the Lina's off.
Trying for the Rubik, he finds the hook shot, so that should be Faith going down, but he has a 4-staff. Oh, hold on, he would use it on cooldown. He's gonna keep on going, but counter 4-staff, and now of course Super just blinks in saying, nah, nowhere to go. An immediate TP out from KP. So they get themselves a nice pick-off.
And now NewBee have the Q to push out the other 2 waves.
Mugi's gonna make his way into an Abyssal Blade. Okay, so what do you think KP, like for his next Black Hole, does he need to wait a bit longer? Because LFY have been, like you said, they've been taking this extremely well, they're very patient, very disciplined. They're so split up that it's almost impossible to find like a four-man Black Hole, or even a 3-man Black Hole.
Well, so far every fight, his focus has been the troll, and occasionally he's got the Visage Birds on top of that, which is about as good as you can hope for. It's not just about what he gets in the Black Hole, it's also the position of the fight, because the fights they've lost, the Lina hasn't been able to hit into the Black Hole, or the target he holds then buys back and they don't have the resources to do it again. Once he gets Refresher, his game gets a lot easier for sure, because then it's not so all in.
Oh, top lane, hold on, they are thinking about it. Monet is alone. Ursa happens to be there as well,
This
and
would
none
be
of his
huge
teammates are
kill.
nearby. This is really big. Kaka, he has to plan this very, very nicely. They're gonna wait for this immediately, and there we go. Even the enrage for this Troll Roller should be dying here. He pops his own BKB. That's actually really big, getting the BKB duration to go down. So, but then again, it's a 5-second BKB. So they immediately TP out, and they buy themselves a bit more time.
That's really well executed as well. If you checked the Ursa, he used his overpower and then they waited for the cooldown, so they had the burst. If they didn't do that, maybe it takes an extra few seconds to kill him, his team comes, they cancel the TPs with a hookshot or something. Just nice clean stuff from NewBee. And the more of this they can do, the higher their chances of being able to stall out this Aegis and not lose any economy, or real estate even. because they are slightly losing on like the core economy, which I suppose you'd expect when a team wins a fight and then takes a Roshan.
Alright, on that part, let's take a look at the team net worth for now. Like, LFY, well, the graph was definitely in favor of NewBee, like, just at least until maybe 34-minute mark, 35. But now LFY actually have the net worth advantage, considering how this game is turned. And EXP-wise, well, about the same as well. It's just basically over 5,000. This game is back and forth, and I'm hoping to see more of this, but I don't know. Okay, I have to ask right now for the DK. He went for the Shadow Blade and into the Silver's Edge plus the AC. It doesn't seem like he have a lot of damage. What's his next item?
Bloodthorn, Daedalus, probably. Unless...
Hold on.
there's no evasion.
Afu's found Kaka. Or he kinda knows.
DDC's with the gem again. This is costing them quite a few kills.
Several times. And once again, they won't find anything, but Kaka finds
the
the
courier.
courier. Oh, immediate TP out. Get out, get up with the hook shot, cancelling the TP. Kaka.
That's still worth.
Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Rip.
He is dead for 70, but by the time they get to his base, his team will be able to stall long enough for sure. That's a bit of space creation and very annoying. And now the Enigma has his refresher up before going buyback, which I think is pretty standard stuff. The Lina now has her buyback as well on top of a BKB. So if a fight does happen, NewBee are in good shape. As long as they don't execute really poorly.
Right, let's look
Radiant's
at
top
Lina.
tower is under attack.
Well, she just got...
Radiant structures are
Would you ever consider going to the full Hurricane Pike? Or would you like just hold that on for later on, just for slot efficiency?
For the Lina,
Hold on to BKB. Get the troll wallet immediately. They have a secondary BKB going in one more time. They want to find Super. Yes, they will catch the Dragon one more time. And they are the Dragon Slayers with the Laguna Blade. Mugi finds two. Clockwork now stuck inside his own cogs. Nowhere to go. Has a 4-step, has cheese. But he will go down anyways to SCCC. And NewBee, that was the fight they were looking for. And damn it, PQ, you were right. So there we go. Game much easier because of the refresher ore. What a debut.
the whole fact that LFY had no idea they had the refresher just single-handedly wins that fight for them. And now the game is probably gonna end in like a similar situation, right? It might not be this time, but the next time BKB Black Hole is up with refresh.
Oh, but this is really scary. There is no buyback on the side of LFY at all. This should be at least a lane of barracks.
Yeah, it's probably 1.5, maybe 2. They can't end the game here because the tier 2 is still up and they're not going to have time to throw it.
The target Afu will go down. Gem on the floor. He may have to
Yes,
buyback for
buyback.
this, but there's nothing he can do even with that buyback. This may just be it. They could just go through, can they?
No, there's no way they've thrown.
Second lane of barracks. Now Sanky buys back, the troll is coming up and so is the Clockwork. They need to stall for as long as they can. They have no fortification. Kaka will be going to the backlines in the Vendetta form. They pop the dust immediately with the
They
Carapace.
can't die now though.
Can't die, no to get them out. Onto Alpha, but here comes the hook. No, Moonette, he's trying to do what he can. He will get Faith. That's one target, but SCCC, those right clicks starting to hurt quite a fair bit. Visit to buyback. Mugi caught inside the cogs. He's gonna pop the Enrage. He's gonna try to run away from this, but the clock battery assault is gonna start banging to him. He's gonna keep him there. And they really want to keep him there, and they will succeed. So Mugi goes down.
That's a pretty good hold
Push,
considering.
no, Clockwork. The cogs. He didn't have vision, so I mean this game is still not completely over yet. It's just one lane of barracks disadvantage. LFY, they need to go straight down mid and force a buyback or something.
And gold are linked.
Yeah, they've got no other options really. Roche is... Well, we'll find out soon. But at least the Troll has buyback money now, so that's going to help them a lot. And the DK might forgo finishing whatever item we wanted to build with his Demon Edge if they can get the money.
Wait, when did Troll get a Daedalus? Holy cow. No one? Okay,
Ages ago.
I did not see that because holy cow, his damage is starting to hurt quite a fair bit. And Ursa is only on an Abyssal. He actually took out the fight. But okay. No, the black hole catching 3 heroes! KP, he's stepping up, he's found it and now going for another. Does he have the mana for it? Yes, he does have that. But it's okay, 3 heroes go down already. KP. What the heck? That was the black hole we were finally looking for, and they found the clockwork as well. This should be it. This should be game right here, right now. Dashed away by KP, gone.
Well, I'm not sure if they know if the DK has buyback, but they're
Wait, doesn't
in a pretty good spot, seeing as Enigma still has the second black hole. And that's a really big throw from LFY. Like, at that point of the game, a lot of things are happening. It's very chaotic, but they just needed to not group up. And now they lose the game.
GG, call it right here, right now, buddy. Oh, the rage buyback is coming on right now, NewBee. They're going straight for the tier 4s. They want to go straight for the throne. LFY, no intention of giving up. Vici control against the well. Sand King's up in 10 seconds, but they have the black hole. KP can just use it, now he will. And down goes Monette, the GG, well
That is such a sad troll.
He has been tilted from that, and Apu immediately DC. It's not even going to matter, as of course the Vici will die to Kaka.
Well, it was a pretty open-ended game, but in the end, Enigma just does Enigma stuff. That refresher completely blew the game open, and LFY didn't really have an answer to it.
It's not like you had a global silence. There was nothing which bypassed the Magic community for that case. So yeah, I can see what you mean by not going for the mech this game.
Yeah, I think Mech Enigma is just obsolete, to be honest. This game might have actually been really different if, before the last fight where they got triple hold, the clock actually hooked on top of the troll. I think the troll blinked in the way of his hook. If that's still up and he cancels the black hole, maybe they turn the fight. Maybe it ends up in a really bad fight for NewBee where they force buybacks and things don't go too well for them. So, could have still ended either way. But damn, Enigma is a broken-ass hero.
You have to love it, man. KP, of course, above average game for him, 10-3 to 19. And it's not like the clockwork did bad as well. I mean, like, you look at the clock, he's 5-8 and 14. He had a pretty decent game if you think about it. It's just that...
He did a lot of damage.
He did, like... I'm just looking at the stats right now. He did like 23k. He had the highest damage done for his team. Wow.
Yeah, well, they weren't really in positions to do too much damage. Because of the Enigma, they had to be so scared. And they were losing a lot of the earlier fights. But the clockwork is a pick that's like... You kind of feel shitty as an offlaner, because if you don't snowball really hard, you can only do so much in fights. I don't think you could ask much more. The one situation where he hooks and his teammate blocks it, I'm not exactly sure who the hook would have hit, but that's like the only bad thing that really happened that game. It's just the picks, in my opinion, fairly lackluster, which is why they have like the Sand King as a 4 position and DDC. So they had their support scale into the game. But it just doesn't work out when your cores get completely mitigated by one black hole, which was a really, really smart last pick.